We have previously reported on the massive damaging cuts of Elon Musk and his little doggy boys, and the damage is done in a lot of different areas. And there are a few areas where it can be more damaging than in the area of Social Security and the associated push to privatize it, by the way. And so we've already had him asserting fraud that doesn't exist, clawing back money out of people's accounts, not just denying them checks that they are owed, but stealing money out of their accounts, for which there should be legal ramifications, but haven't yet been. But the damage actually goes beyond just that. Even in the most direct thing the doggy is supposed to be doing, which is like upgrading technical systems and managing like tech support, they're utterly failing in that too. And that is damaging people's ability to actually get their Social Security. So if you try to go into the webpage to log in to manage your benefits, you might have seen this. We're sorry, but the online service you requested isn't available right now. We apologize for the inconvenience. See, the Social Security website has been crashing, and we now know why, and we're gonna tell you why. But I just wanna say that if you're dealing with a need to manage, change something about your Social Security, an inability to do that really almost by definition can't be just inconvenient. It's kind of crucial for the people who rely on Social Security. It's not a small thing, it's kind of huge. But anyway, here's why it failed, and it's pretty comical. The website has crashed repeatedly in recent weeks, with outages lasting anywhere from 20 minutes to almost a day. Even when the site is back online, many customers have not been able to sign into their accounts or have logged in only to find information missing. That's ominous. For others, access to the system has been slow, requiring repeated tries to get in, which is admittedly a difficult process to get through, or even understand. If you're elderly, which many of the people getting these benefits will be, they're not great at the tech support stuff. But it's not just them. It's also Doggy that's not great at this stuff. Many of these outages appear to have been caused by an expanded fraud check system imposed by the Doggy team, according to current and former officials. So these enhanced fraud checks are now done earlier in the claims process and have resulted in a boost to the volume of customers who have to pass their checks. And apparently, the technology staff at Doggy did not test the new software against the high volume of users to see if the servers would actually be able to handle this new needless rush of people to it. And so it's just particularly funny because they're supposed to be geniuses, wunderkinds when it comes to tech support and all that. Remember, that's why you're not supposed to worry about the fact that they're only like 18 years old or whatever. They know tech, man, they know code. And so does Elon Musk. He even has it on his shirt. He's so good at tech support. And you can't lie about that. You can't put something on your shirt if you're not great at it. And so anyway, like, to root out fraud that they haven't shown actually exists, they once again damage the actual functioning of the system and deny people access to managing the benefits so that they are owed for a lifetime of labor. This stuff collectively, Yaz, has got to be so utterly frustrating to the not just elderly, but mostly elderly people that need to access this. Many of them, by the way, Republicans, many of them voted for Donald Trump. They might even like Elon Musk, but they're continually running up against his desire to make Social Security just grind to a halt. What do you think?
Yeah, Elon Musk, as you said, is the tech support guy. He's a coder, he's an engineer, or like whatever his like overly branded persona wants you to believe that he is, but he's not really any of those things. And this is what's so frustrating. He is heading up the Department of Government Efficiency, right? But he doesn't like, he's doing this because he doesn't like how inefficient the government is. That's the meme, right? Like government is miserable and inefficient. I've been saying this for years, which is a weird thing for me to have been saying for so long, but I have been. But that was the joke, that Elon was supposed to make less of a joke. He was supposed to make government less inefficient, but government has often been able to claim inefficiency because updating all of our systems and streamlining all of our processes has always been said to be too expensive. So they just haven't done it in a really long time. That's why so many of our government buildings are old and decrepit. That's why so many of their systems that they're running on, the computers that they're using, are old and obsolete. That is why our government runs so slowly. That's what they've been able to say. And then you have things like the rollout of the Affordable Care Act. Whenever all of that happened and it crashed the computer system because there was too many people trying to use it and the system couldn't keep up That was also you could argue was government inefficiency or bad coders or whatever. The system couldn't handle that level of traffic. So this is a common thing that the American people are kind of used to dealing with. But now whenever it's happening, it's not acceptable. This is a website and a program that had actually been working, right? This is something that was working the way it was supposed to be working. People were getting their checks. People were able to log on and see all their information, all of their account information, see what's coming, what isn't. Now it's breaking, right? That is the opposite of what Elon Musk is supposed to be doing with all of his genius coders, all these 19-year-olds who he hired who are apparently these genius teenagers who know how to fix the government, the things that are, as you said, they haven't been able to prove, things that aren't working, things that are fraudulent, things that are inefficient. So here we are. I think they're using all of the existing lack of trust in government systems that a lot of the American people already have, and they're hiding behind that. And they're also weaponizing people's incompetence. They know that a lot of the people who are relying on things like Social Security are older people. And so they're making it more difficult, giving them more hoops to jump through in order to just gain access to the things that they already had access to before. Something that, again, was not broken. This thing was working the way it was supposed to for so many people for so many years. And so now they're breaking it and they're acting like, oh, what are you going to do? And it is frustrating because this also harkens back to whenever they would just put roadblocks in front of people, because Republicans, to a certain extent, I think they understand that they really can't win elections unless they cheat in some ways, but they don't actually cheat, right? What they do is they make it more difficult for people to vote. And that's what they're doing here. They're making things more difficult for people, more bureaucracy instead of less. It's very frustrating.
If you enjoyed that, make sure that you never miss another video by subscribing. And if you want a little more, consider hitting the join button and becoming an actual member. But you're probably wondering, why the hell would I do that, John? First off, calm down. The stakes in this are very, very low. But also, when you click the join button and you become a member, you get access to bonus content that I make every week, and it's a ton of fun. You get access to tons of custom emojis and more besides that. By the way, if you join at tier 3, you even get access to a monthly member hangout with myself and other awesome people, and we always have a great time. By the way, you'll get all that going forward, but you also unlock years of the back catalog. That is literally 100 or more bonus clips, top 10 lists, debates, and more. What are you waiting for? Click the join button below. Your support powers our show, and we couldn't do it without you. Or at the very least, I wouldn't really want to try. Viewers like you keep me here. So thank you in advance for joining.